be asked to identify one or more cadences in your Grade 5 exam. The key will be given. The two chords that make up the cadence are marked with a bracket. Remember that the perfect cadence is 5-1, plagal is 4-1, and imperfect cadences finish on chord 5. Although the bracket is placed over the top of the chords, you actually only need to look at the two bass notes, the lowest notes of the chords, to discover the answer. In this question, the final two bass notes are A and D. These are the fifth and the first notes of the D major scale, so the chord progression is 5-1 and it's a perfect cadence. Here's another example. Pause the video to have a go by yourself, then come back and check. The key this time is F major, and the last two bass notes are D and C, which are the 6th and 5th degrees of the scale, so this is an imperfect cadence. In a second type of question, you're asked to suggest chords to fit two cadences in a melody. Usually, one of the progressions also includes a pre-cadence chord. First, check the key signature so that you know what key the music's in. These questions will only be in major keys, so this one is G major. On your scrap paper, make a note of the tonic, supertonic, subdominant and dominant triads in this key, and remind yourself again which chords make up the three main cadences. Perfect is 5-1, plagal is 4-1, and imperfect ends on chord 5. Chords 1 and 2 make up the first cadence. Start by looking at chord 2, because this is the chord that the cadence ends on, and it can only ever be chord 1 or chord 5. Match the note or notes in the melody to the correct triad. In this example, the note is A, so it must be chord 5, and we now know that we're looking at an imperfect cadence. Now look at chord 1. This might be any chord except for another chord 5, because we would never find the same chord immediately repeated one after the other. The notes under the bracket are C, B, A and E. 3 of these notes belong to chord 2, but the B doesn't fit. But actually this doesn't matter because the B is on an off beat and it's a step away from both the note before it and the note after it. If you find an off-beat note which moves by step both to and from this note, then it doesn't need to be in the chord because this is what's called a decoration note. So we can ignore the B, and this is chord 2. Now let's look at chords 3, 4 and 5. Chords 4 and 5 form the actual cadence, and chord 3 is a pre-cadence chord. As before, it's best to start at the end with the last chord, which must be 1 or 5. G is only found in chord 1. Chord 1 can only be preceded by chords 5 or 4. There is no cadence which uses the progression 2-1, so that will never be the right answer. The fourth chord contains the notes D and F sharp, so this is chord 5. The third chord has the notes C, D, E and G. As before, 3 of these notes belong to a chord, that's chord 4, but the D doesn't fit. The D is a decoration note because it's on an offbeat and it moves by step, both going towards this note and away from it, so it doesn't need to be in the chord.